Good morning, everybody, and today I'm gonna be dealing with a very basic topic in English grammar, and I would like to start that a particular topic with that of the quotation. Let me tell that for you, and so you can have the idea of what the topic is all about. Okay, so yeah. So let's get started. Okay, so stay tuned for these kind of English grammars. Okay, so yes, and yesterday is a history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift, and so we call it present, right? So we have to make use of the present situation so that we can excel in our future. And now I guess you have got a very clear idea about what we are gonna deal with in this session. Yes, and the topic for today is all about tenses. Yes, so basically in tenses there are three main things, three main tenses are there in English grammar, and they are as follows. So let me tell you the four things. So now what you have a doubt. You may think what actually is a tense. Yes. So tenses is nothing but it indicates the time of an action. It indicates the time of an action. Okay. It indicates the time of an action. So yes, there are basically three very main basic tenses in English grammar, and I guess you all know it. And they are present tense, past tense, and future tense. Yeah, and these are the basic tenses. And totally, there are 12 basic tenses. They are simple present tense, simple present tense, present continuous tense, present perfect tense, present perfect continuous tense, and again past simple past tense, simple past continuous tense, past perfect tense, past perfect continuous tense, and simple future tense, simple future continuous tense, future perfect tense, and future perfect continuous tense. So these are the 12 basic categories in which we can identify when the action takes place at what point of time. Either it takes place in the present moment, or in the past moment, or in the future moment. Okay, so yes, so in this session we are going to be dealing with only the four categories in the present tense, and stay tuned for those things. Okay, the very first thing is the simple present tense. So simple present tense, and the structure for simple present tense is subject is nothing but we are gonna talk about, say for example here, Manju. Okay, so the verb, along with the verb we have to add yes or es. Okay, say for example, Manju play. Okay, so as if the subject is singular in nature, we have to add yes or es to that of the verb. Or if the subject is in plural form, say for example, all the children, okay, if the subject is in plural, we have to write the verb as it is. So all the children play. Manju plays. Manju is a singular, and so we have depicted, or we have added yes to that of the main verb, that is play. And all the children, when we say all the children, it refers to a very lot of people, right? So it is in plural noun, so we have to write the verb as it is. So all the children play, but Manju plays. Okay, so yeah. And now we shall look into the picture where we can, what are the scenarios, what are the areas in which we use the simple present tense. Okay, so the simple present tense is used in the first scenario. Let's say true in the present. True in the present means the action that are true in the present, the things that are true in the present. And right now I work in a company. I work for a company. Okay, I work for a company in Chennai. I work for a company in Chennai. So I work. Okay. And here, as the verb is he, so he, she, for he, she, it. These are the singular pronouns. Okay, singular pronouns, and so we have to use. We have to write the verb, we have to put the verb, and we have to add yes or es to that of the main verb. And there are three present be verbs. Sorry, there are five basic be verbs, and they are am, is, or, was, and were. And am, is, or is basically represent the present tense. Okay, am, is, or are the very basic be verbs that represents that the sentence is in present. Okay, yeah. So yeah, we'll deal with some of the examples. Okay, so he works in a studio. So right now I work for a company. So the scenario that is true in the present, the action that is true in the present, it is a fact, right? And she is 60 years old. She is 60 years old represents the true thing, right? So is the be verb, and so we can see it is in simple present tense. And now we live in Chennai. We live in Chennai. As this as we is the plural noun, we have written the verb as it is. Okay, so this is the first scenario in which we use simple present tense. Yeah, yes. Then the next scenario is that for habitual actions, the things that you do on the regular basis, for that you can use present tense. So you have to use present tense in order to indicate a regular actions or a habitual thing. Okay, so say for example you wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so you wake up at 6 o'clock. He wakes up at 6 o'clock every day, and I wake up at 7 o'clock every day. Okay, so on the regular basis I wake up at 6 o'clock daily. So that can be represented using present tense. Yes. And some more examples are I always drink coffee. Okay, I always drink coffee, or I always go to gym. So these are the very basic habits. I read a lot of books, and I started reading. No, so reading is I read many books. So these are the habits that we have developed, and we do things on the regular basis, and so we have to represent these things in the present form. Yeah. And then general facts, and you can see the thing here. Okay, the earth revolves around the sun. As the earth is singular in nature, we have to add yes or es to that of the main verb, that is revolve here, and we have added s to it in order to indicate that it is in present tense. And it is a general fact, it is a fact that can't be changed. Say some other example is this: Asia is the biggest continent in the world, right? And can you change the fact? No, you can't absolutely change the fact. And so we have to represent things in the present tense, simple present tense. Okay, so water boils at 100 degrees Celsius. So this is the scientific truth that no one can change, right? Nobody can change that. We cannot say water boils at 75 degrees Celsius. No, it's not appropriate, right? So according to the general facts, we have to represent things in simple present tense. Yes. And the next thing is that for the future timetables or for the schedules, we have to use simple present tense. So as for the fixed, something is fixed. Okay, my train arrives tomorrow. It's about to happen for sure tomorrow, right? So the fixed, it is the thing is fixed. The action that is going to happen tomorrow is fixed, and we know it will happen for sure. And so we can use simple present tense over there. And some of the other examples are: we fly to Paris on Monday. For sure we are going to Paris. So for the fixed timetables, we can use a simple present tense in this sentence. Okay, and this next one is that the classes begin next week. So as the classes is plural in nature, we have to add, or we have to use use the regular verb as it is without adding s or es. Okay, so yeah. So now see, so I have already told that where you have to add yes and yes, and where you have to write the verb as it is. But here for a very good clarification, I have given this tabular column. And for the subject, if the subject like I, we, you, they appears in the sentence, you have to write the verb as it is. And I have given the basic formats: drive, 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 drive. Yes, for he, she, it alone we have to add yes. If the subject is singular in nature, we have to write the verb as it is. No, for singular in nature we have to add yes or yes to that of the main verb. And if at all the subject is in plural, we have to write the verb as it is. And if it is singular in nature, we have to write the verb along with the es and es. Yes, so we get through the next slide. Yeah. Okay, so some of the examples I have given you here in this PowerPoint presentation, and it goes like this. Okay, so I go to school every day. It is a habitual action. She speaks English fluently. It's generally no. It's true in the present, right? It's true in the present, and it is it's a fact. Okay, it's a fact. And paper burns easily. It burns easily. So it's a fact. And my parents work in a hospital. They work in a hospital. That is the thing that is true in the present. And so we have used these kind of things for all these scenarios. We have to represent things in the simple present tense. Hope you all have got through the simple present tense and the usage of simple present tense. Yes, yeah. Now some of the points we shall remember. Okay, so remember that we say I work but he works. They teach but my sister teaches. There is the plural, so we have written the verb as it is. And has she, my sister, is singular in nature, we have to add es or es to that of the main verb. Yeah. And then we sing, but Rihanna sings. Okay, don't forget the s, so we shouldn't forget that. We have to add yes or es in the third person singular. So if at all we are referring to some of the persons, we have to add yes or es to the verb. Okay, that's all about the simple present tense. And now we are gonna deal with how can we change a simple present tense into an interrogative question. So interrogative basically means a questioning sentence. Yes, so he works as an doctor. So before getting started with that, we can separate the given main verb with the do verbs. Okay, do verb thus. So do plus verb gives same thing, same verb. And if a does plus verb gives verb plus yes. Okay, yeah. So here, does he work as a doctor? As a doctor, why so many mistakes in the presentation? Yeah. Does he work as a doctor? Yes, he does. Or also we can say that yes he works as a doctor. Okay, yes he does. We have to write the auxiliaries are nothing but the helping verbs. They don't stand alone, but they depend upon the main verbs. Okay, yeah. So no changes in the in interrogative sentence. There is no change at all. So it's very simple in nature. Say for example, I I come late. Okay, so this how will you how will you segregate the word come? We have to do plus come gives come. Okay, so add this do up first. Do I put the same subject here, put the main verb after the subject, place the main verb after the subject, and write the things as it is, and put a question mark at the end of the sentence so that you can get interrogative sentence. And that's all. And that's all, guys. Yeah. And interrogative sentence, we have discussed affirmative sentence earlier. We'll discuss the interrogative sentence. We use do or does to make questions. Do or does, these are the present verbs, auxiliary verbs that we can use in order to make a very affirmative sentence into an interrogative sentence. Okay, so do you drive, does she sing, etc. These are some of the examples for the interrogative sentences, and the structure goes like this: do or does plus subject plus the base form of the verb here refers to the main verb that we call it as action verbs or whatever it is. Yeah. And simple present tense. So now we will discuss how we can change a positive sentence into a negative sentence. Okay, so she works as a doctor. She works as a doctor. She does. We have to. So in order to make a positive sentence to a negative sentence, we have to add not. Not is the negative word that we should use after. We have to place not after the auxiliary verb. Okay, so that it will change into a negative sentence. She doesn't work as a doctor, she works as a teacher. Yes, as simple as that. I don't work, we don't work, you don't work, they don't work. Nothing works at all. Do not or does not to make a negative sentence. Example: I don't go to the market in the evening. Sally does not take sugar in her coffee. We use simple present to talk about. So now let us remember what are the things that we dealt so far and what are the usages of simple present tense. So we use simple present tense in order to talk about something that happens in a regular manner and in a repeated actions, or for the situations that are true to the present, true in the present, and so on. So Susan goes to the school every day. So every day is the magical word here, and so we can close our eyes and write or fill in the blank with a simple present tense. The river Ebro flows into the Mediterranean Sea, and that is true to the nature, and it is a general thing, right?